So I'm here on the 14th of May at the Shropshire Innovation Centre up at Harnage Estates near Weston Park. This is about the 8th year we've had trials up on this site. As you can see, we've got a mixture of wheat and barley, as well as a few other bits and pieces on this fairly light land site. So even though it's light land, we did suffer from a lot of rainfall in the autumn, and the establishment from the plots which were drilled on the 10th of October wasn't always great, and they stood in water a lot over winter. Obviously since then, in the spring, it's been relatively dry, and the farms even had to irrigate for us in the last couple of weeks. Just quickly looking at the variety screen here, this is mainly winter wheat varieties. At the start we've actually got some triticale and some oats. On the right is untreated, and on the left the farmer has applied a standard fungicide treatment. Interesting, when we look in the oats, one of the first things we actually see and pick out is some great symptoms of BYDV. Those crimson leaves stand out quite clearly on oats. There are also plenty of examples in both the wheat and the barley as well. Also in the oats, interestingly, we've actually got some oat septoria vini, which is a wet weather disease related to septoria in wheat, and that's developed despite the relatively low levels of rainfall. When we look into the wheat plots, they're rather scrappy, it has to be said, from the establishment and then the drought and poor rooting. If we look here in the first variety on the right, we're hoping for a lot of septoria. In fact, what we've got when we look here is actually quite a bit of yellow rust. This is actually Dunstan here, but we have got yellow rust in quite a number of varieties in the untreated in this screen. In this block of wheat here, plots again drilled on the 10th of October, you can see how the variable field conditions where the water's been standing have significantly affected the plots, so they don't look very pretty at all, unfortunately. In this guard plot you can see where Joe has applied some paint at different timings. So on the left here, when the T0 spray went on, he applied some white paint, so you can see the leaves that have come since then. And then next to that you can see the red paint applied at T1 on the 27th of April. And this little leaf coming out here is a stunted little flag leaf, so you can see just how things have struggled. Although we've had another 2 leaves come out since T1, the crop is not growing vigorously. What has established well is the spring barley plots, and indeed the spring wheat plot I'm standing in here. And we've got a range of work in here, from some seed treatment work and then some simple variety screens here. In front of me you've got the new variety tungsten, adjacent to that you've got the standard laureate. In this piece we're looking at laureate with different seed treatments. As you can see, this plot has had Vibrance Duo with Ipoconazole, which hopefully will be the new standard seed treatment for barley, and we'll be measuring plant height, rooting, etc. to spot the differences that we have. In addition to that, we'll put different fungicide programs across the varieties to see if we get any different interactions. The final block here is of winter barley, again drilled on the 10th of October. Looking a little bit better than the wheat, but still rather thinner than we'd like. Over the hedge we have in fact got another winter barley block in a commercial crop, which is where the main variety screen is. But in this block here there's a couple of projects. The one in the background is looking at BYDV interaction and seed treatments. There's actually less BYDV there than in the wheat and the oats. And in front of me is a seed treatment trial looking at control particularly of loose smut. And in fact in here, if we look at the untreated, you can actually just start to pick out ears or plants that are going to show loose smut. The flag leaves are looking a little discoloured and distorted, and if we look closely we can in fact see the smutted ears here just starting to appear. So this trial is going to produce some very useful information.